This is May 12th, 2026. You know, I seen people driving around, and so I started saying stuff. When people realize it's Dave's ex-girlfriend and her dad, that Henry Mafi, and it's just Katie's family trying to steal from the government, its levels are not funny. You know, I had some idiot say around me, well, they already entered everything in court. There's nothing they can do about it. Bullshit. Okay, you have the right to be notified. You have a right to be there. You have a right to legal representation. Okay? Right to a fair and speedy court trial. You have a right to remain quiet. A right to privacy in your home. Freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion. You have the right that no one can seize any money or assets but due process of the law, found guilty and sued for. You have the right that no one can withhold protection from any U.S. citizen in any jurisdiction. You also have the right that it takes an impartial jury trial per documented injuries per set amount, not a judge. December 18th, 24, I walked into Walmart 62. Two people follow him. They said she had charges. Other people said it's just the cartels. So we had someone call up to the Ravenna courthouse. They said there's nothing against her. It's just the cartel. It's a scam. You know, where last week I was in Walmart on the strip and people were following me around. This whole thing was nothing but a bitch move. The whole thing was a bitch move. Breaking in and hiding behind doors and reaching out and stabbing somebody with a hypnotic drug and telling them to say something stupid. Photoshopped washing in the shower in another room, and mean games that pretend. The whole thing's a bitch move. Yeah. Bill from the Freemasons, big scam. Bitch move. May 25th, 25, I'm in Hollister's in Summit Mall. Teenagers are laughing. Boy, did Bill from the Freemasons run the biggest scam here. Had some guy go in and drug her up and tell her to say that. Can you imagine that? Had some guy take a video of her washing herself in the shower and Photoshop that in the other room. Ran the biggest scam off of it. Who could steal her money? May 26, 25, the cartel walks in. We heard they were making fun of Bill from the Freemason scam in Summit Mall of the dirty doctor not being one of hers, worse for them, and they had lied. He was one of her doctors, and the whole thing's a scam. May 30th, 25, the Louisville police got their surveillance of Walmart, 62 of them saying it. Get it? Yesterday, on May 11th, 2026, I went out to that doctor's office where on May 8th, 26, in my community health, that doctor that is always rude to me. Back on April 9th, 26, after I left where the room, he walked up and said, I got a phone call to make. I know you like watching her. I think it's funny she thought she was yelling at drug dealers, and it was us. And before that, the nurse, when she came in, now I've got injuries I'll have the rest of my life, okay? That I still have pain from them, okay? And I'm trying to tell her, you know, I got bashed. I still have a dent in my head, size of a hammer. The very back top, my hair covers a lot of it. Should have killed me. I was stabbed in the neck, bashed in the head, beaten, raped, and left for dead. I was out for 6 hours during the FBI case. Okay? And I have other injuries. And that nurse leaves, and I told Carl I had to go to the bathroom. I go to walk out, and she's out there. So unprofessional. She needs fired. Oh, Lord! I could barely contain myself when she said she had drug dealers coming at her. The FBI was here making fun of her. Got her medical records. And they make fun of her for saying she had drug dealers coming at her. Oh, investigators showed up the next day. Who those idiots give her medical records to? Officer Mark already got him in 18. It was medication error. Medical malpractice made her sick before. And she really did have drug dealers coming at her. And who is watching her from there? And what does he mean that Altman Hospital doctors are in it with drug dealers, drug beating, raping people in their homes? Well, when I went back May 8th, 26, as I go to leave, that doctor walks in a staff-only room. Okay? Now, at first I freaked out, and then I realized who he was talking to. He said, I think it's funny she thinks I should show respect when I talk to her. As a doctor, he should show compassion and respect to all his patients. We're paying him. He and that guy said, I'm going to get her husband taken away from her. He said, she even tries to have liposuction done. I already talked to that other doctor. He said, I told him to make sure that it looks like an accident and that it's a fat embolism or a blood embolism and it kills her. Oh my Lord. The things that were said on the other side of that door. My phone's bugged. It's tapped by the police and the FBI, so they have a recording of it. I left Dixie's in 19. I walked outside, an investigator still listening to us talk. I didn't record anything. But they can record through my phone. You know how they say hackers can get into your phone and turn on your camera? Well, the FBI is the best hackers with a court order. And Officer Marcus admitted to listening. When Jim was alive, my neighbor, I'd go over and talk to him and what we were saying. They let me know everything was being recorded. Okay? So they got all that. And how he said he was going to steal all the money for John and Melissa. Oh, Lord. He's trying to steal it for himself. And at first, I thought, what if it's one of those guys that tortured me? And I got so worked up by the time I had to go to work, I started stuttering. And I had to get off the phone with Carl, and I turned up the music real loud and just screamed. I haven't screamed in a long time. I could see he was being tortured again. It helped I calmed down. And then I got to thinking what he said, that he was going to get Carl away from me. That's Henry Maffei. Trying to steal my money. That's that Henry Maffei impersonating Will. Okay? So the next day I went to that other nice doctor. And he's a very nice man. Has a handicapped daughter. They were out there a year ago scamming him. Saying John verified it for Will, like Will's God Almighty. And he's nothing but a scammer. And he never verified it for him. Okay? We got agreement with law enforcement. No one can ever help her again. We won't say anything. I thought, say something, bitch. I dare you. I found out June 13th, 14th, or 25th that they had somebody impersonating John, asking people to help kill me. He would never ask anybody to help kill me. July 26, 25, he told an FBI agent came in that worked the case since 18, where a couple had got smart with me and Bob Evans. I went off. We leave and go over to Walmart 62 between 8 and 10 in the morning. He walks in. I told those people never say a word to her again. I interviewed John years ago. He said nothing bad ever happened to him. He was the one on Thanksgiving of 18 when I asked him what was going on. He didn't know. And that Melissa's ex-wife would just have the kids make up something because he told them I was going through a divorce, moving out. But don't worry about it, Mom. Nobody can say anything bad about you. She'll even have her church people make up something too, but don't worry about it. Nobody can say anything bad about you. And repeats it. And it's like you shouldn't have said anything, but I did. And since nobody can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it. And he shoots me. The police and FBI taped him. I even went to Dave. Dave defended me. Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. You'd never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. Taped him, though. In where Melissa, his ex-wife, pulled a bitch move on John. After their divorce, she snuck in his house. He didn't know she was there. He's in the bathroom. He walks out. She lunges at him. He shoved her. Being startled. Now I got you. Had him arrested for domestic violence. That is not domestic violence. That's breaking and entering. Ohio is stand your ground law in your home. She should have been arrested for breaking and entering. No, he got arrested. He lost his kids. And a year later, he tried to get custody back. He called me up. He said, Mom, I need you to be a reliable name on a court record to watch my kids. And I said, John, I'm working 2 jobs. I don't get off the first one, let alone the second one. He said, Mom, if you don't help me, I'll lose my kids forever. These are my kids. And he's pleading with me. And I feel terrible. I barely made it. I was like, I'll lose my apartment. I only made $10 an hour at one of my jobs. I said, I barely make it now. I'm so sorry. I can't help you. But, Mom, please, if you're not the reliable name on that court record to pick him up after school and watch him, I'll lose him forever. I said, I can't help you. I am so sorry. I'll lose my apartment. He lost his kids, moved to Florida, met this other woman, got married. They have a baby. They started their own church. He's been in Florida for years. June 13th, 14th, I was running around with Carl. And I said, you know, hell would freeze over before John would ever help Melissa. And he'd never be part of having his mother drug being raped and almost murdered for Dave's 18-year-old crack-headed girlfriend. And he's been in Florida for years. People, we go over to Katana's restaurant. People get out of their cars. John's in Florida. Who's that riding around with them, asking them to help kill her? They had somebody impersonate John. Nobody thought it was funny. My son would never ask anybody to help kill me. You know, I was in Carrollton a year ago. Some of the cartel girls were telling on him. They said, did you hear about her ex-daughter-in-law, Melissa? What a loon. She went in it with her cheating ex-husband. Had a bunch of guys go in and drug her up and tell her to say stuff. Had her beat and raped under drugs. Had her stalked in her own home. Had her photoshopped washing in the shower in the other room. All because her son divorced her. Who does that to someone's mother just because their son divorces them? What a loon. And always tell everybody, police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements and a court order. If anybody else tells you they're in your home, they're scamming you. Turn them in. Nobody else can be in your home. It's the right of privacy. 4th Amendment. And they were telling everybody. Okay. Melissa's kids were taped on Thanksgiving of 18 saying that they made everything up and they wanted the house for Auntie Shell and Papa. And that they were games of pretend sex shop. Melissa, two guys that said they worked for a drug lord, said that Melissa was willing to have the kids lie to help them get away with this. You're kidding. No, I told them, say, and they're laughing. Well, if you want the feds' attention, say stuff like that in Walmart. They started following around. They caught her telling them to lie. And the kids taped stating they made everything up. They were games of pretend. And they wanted the house for Auntie Shell, the crackhead. After Thanksgiving of 18, the investigators are so mad they called her out in Walmart, interfere in their investigation. They called her out. Melissa's so stupid she made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid she didn't check where you were. Officer Mark, Melissa could go to jail for this. I hate to arrest her, kids are little. Why don't we just write it up that her and the kids were showing off for David and his new girlfriend? And other investigators by Wood Forest, why are they having those kids make that shit up? Oh, they're just trying to scare her into giving up the house. That's it. Our whole family's speaking highly of her. Officer John worked my case since 18. He, January 12th, 22, got in two big drug dealers' face. When those kids get tape stating, they made everything up. October 5th, 21, they were talking about that girl lying in Huntington Bank in front of a client. We went to leave. He's like, who's that crazy Melissa? They talk about lying everywhere we go. It's like the ex-daughter-in-law friends with ex's girlfriend had the kids make up some mean games to pretend on Thanksgiving of 18. He said that it's been years and they're still talking about that girl lying. 19, investigators would yell it out places. Her family ought to be ashamed. Making up stories behind Karen's back. She's risking her life to get information on these people trying to save everyone. And they're sitting around laughing, making up stuff behind their back. They ought to be ashamed. In May of 21, I went through Pennsylvania. Some girls that were following me part of this looked at their phone and said, oh my goodness, Kurt found out those kids were lying. He's going to kill her. It's like Kurt's little, right? He said they were lying on Thanksgiving 18. Cops and feds have been screaming at the stores. They're not going to put up with this. I get back and two sheriffs had walked out and were laughing, boy, if Kurt just found out those kids are lying, he is slow. June 23rd to July 4th of 21, I went to Mount Carmel, Illinois. And that weird Eric was stalking me, the one that laughed at everybody November 18, 22. Mocked everybody for falling for this. He was still stalking me. Phones are going off. Eric, you said what? Eric, you said what? And people were calling me bad names. The woman that laid her life down to save her family lived through complete horror. People are calling me names because people are lying to them. Okay? I lost it. Lost it, started swearing. Said, if you don't believe I'm innocent, call the Massillon police. Yell out the phone number. Whole street went quiet. Some guy off in the distance, they said they're documenting me games of pretend. She never hurt anyone. Nobody ever went to the hospital. There's no police report. There's no pictures of injuries. There's no treatment for injuries. There's no prosecution. Why? Because they were taped by the police and the FBI saying they made everything up and nobody went to the hospital because it was a made-up scenario. It was a scam. Just like where they were supposed to roofie me and told me, they laughed last year, August 4th, 25, that they used hypnotic drugs on me when they drugged me and told me to say it before. August 5th, 25, as if Agent John didn't know they used hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. And he was telling people he knew she was being drugged, being raped, and didn't care before the case started. And he even let him torture her. Is he some kind of coward? August 7th, 25, Walmart still would have it. Investigators, I got him taped again, admitting to drugging her and tell her to say it before. And they even are now calling Agent John a coward. Well, Melissa's church, Katie's family member Jody, with the drug dealers, made fun of the FBI June 7th, 23. FBI agent John fell for the stunt on tapes before. Oh, come on now. It was only a stunt. You're kidding. And publicly mocked him and cackled. Saw videos of it. That weird Eric they talked about, they said it was him November 18, 22. All the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it. My idea to do it. My idea to say it. For all these people turned around and they fell for it. Just like from the beginning of the case, they tried to say they had sodium pentothal reports and they worked for Dave and they were drugging me and telling me to say stuff before. We had bruises throwing up and infected. It was us. We were drug beating, raping you. We were drugging you until you say this, drugging you until you say that. We photoshopped our lies, raced people out of the room, and they're stalking tapes. It's a drug scam. May 25th, 21, 8/9/21. December 9th, 21, January 19th, 22, February 2nd, 22, August 4th, 25, August 5th, 25, August 7th, 25, August 31st, 25, December 1st, 25, drugged and told to say it, and a lot more. And then framing me March 24th, 22, shower scene in the other room. March 1st to 3rd of 21, they put clips together, put her in a porn, it's not her, it's them. Then what you're describing is showering, ha ha ha. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22 at noon, and May 26th, 22 at noon. The shower scene in the other room, it was photoshopped on purpose to make you look weird. And December 1st, 25. Now, and this whole thing is Katie's family's debt to drug dealers. Right before the case started at Apostolic Church of Barberton, Anita and Pam were talking. Mary's niece, Michelle, was willing to kill someone just for the opportunity to date someone like Dave. Dave was excited he never had anybody willing to kill someone just to date him. That poor family that's in debt. They talked about a poor family in debt they were all doing all this for. Okay. September 30th, 25, 1 o'clock in the morning, a biker brought her down, was yelling. The guys running it said nobody's allowed to say a word to her again in her life. That this whole thing is your family's debt to drug dealers. Is that what's going on? Yes. Does she even know who you are? No, I don't want her to know who I am. She doesn't even know you. You had her skull bashed in, her raped and tortured because your family was in debt to drug dealers? Yes, I'm sorry. I listened to her and her friend Matt talk January 13th, 23, that the Ohio drug dealers were threatening that agent's life because they thought he let them get human trafficked. And it was your family letting them get human trafficked? Yes. Your family human trafficked people just to pay off those debts to drug dealers? Yes, I'm sorry. She sold little children for sex slaves and to be murdered, and she's sorry. Found out it was your family that was inciting her new husband's family to threaten his life to steal everything. Well, I wanted that for him. I liked it. Like, it makes it okay. Said, did you know I listened to September of 23, the original Cartel, admitted they photoshopped everything on her before. Did you know that? Yes. They even confronted her ex-husband that if he knew it was medication errors, medical malpractice, and fraud that made her sick before. Did you know that? Yes. And they encouraged them to sue those doctors for years? Yes, I knew that. Okay, October 11th, 25, KFC in New Philly. They were talking, my God, we all knew this whole thing was that family's debt to drug dealers. And that Michelle admitted that they even human traffic people to pay off that debt. You tell everybody not to say anything again to her in her life. We already knew this whole thing was a scam. March 27th, 25. After midnight, there's an FBI agent outside. He's talking. He had dated this other Michelle. And he got it out of her that the doctor from before was not one of hers, works for them, and they had lied. He was one of her doctors. She actually don't know who he is. HIPAA. It's a federal crime for any of your doctors to be in it with people harming you. When they bashed in her head, they tried to kill her or leave her incompetent, and it didn't work. As soon as she told me, I broke up with her. Got it out of her ex-husband that a girlfriend from before her made him marry her so that he could get a job at her dad's factory. And she'd have free insurance to use, where I had some. Back then, you didn't have to show ID. You went and filled out information. You never showed ID. If you forgot your insurance card, you could call it in later. People took you for who you were. That's how people used to have surgeries on other people's insurance. And they got away with a lot of identity fraud. I had some lady use my insurance for 15 years, ran up all kinds of bills. Tried to fight it at first, and there was rumors of Dave cheating right away with a heavyset white round woman. Of course, he denied it, and then I start getting all these medical bills that aren't mine. And they threatened to have him arrested, and he said, Karen, I have you. Why would I want a heavy-set round woman? I'd never cheat on you. It's just random identity theft. Here it's him and his girlfriend scamming me. I was 18 and stupid. Half my medical records for 15 years are that woman's. She went Harry-Carry and left me with all the copays. My family had to suffer to pay those. Okay? He also got it all that family that was telling people that it offended them, that Strange called her a faker. Back in 03, it was 15 years for the case. Ask him, why on earth would you say it offended you? It's 6 months later when he made it up. And she had nothing to do with the traffic accident that killed your kid. And they said they were all in there lying to the FBI. They were all in there lying. It didn't even concern them. They were all in there lying to help them get away with it. Okay. March 20th, 26th. Walmart West Test by the Electronics. Investigator from 18. He said, I haven't found one bit of this funny since an FBI agent came in and told me a year ago. That family said they were all in there lying to the FBI. And they were making it all up, that they were offended and all this to help them get away with it. They called them out in Walmart. People were saying stuff. Some rich family lied just to have her harmed. I know. They ought to be arrested, right? So, yesterday, I went to that nice doctor's office. And I told the nurse, I've been talking about all this for a long time with her. I told her how, I said, you know how I told you that Henry Moffey showed up? And she said, yeah. And I said, I found out it's him. It's Dave's girlfriend's dad. You put the different things together. He's telling people he's some guy named Will, supposed to be an attorney. I think now he's impersonating a federal agent. And I told her, I said, how John defended me. And he even verified in what date for the FBI that nothing bad ever happened to him. He wasn't part of a drug scam trying to steal from the government and having his mother harmed. My God. And that they even went to Dr. Hittman's office on Frank Road, June 7th, 25. And he was a kid's pediatrician from 2002 to 1984. 1984 to 2002. 18 years. And he's seen them at least 3 or 4 times a year. You know, got your yearly checkup and then colds, ear infections. She said, of course. I said at least 3 or 4 times a year. Since they've seen him since they were born and they've seen him every few months, it's like, hi. And I said, they're chatterboxes. They all are. They will talk your ear off. And I said, he verified for the FBI that he's seen him several times a year for 18 years. And that there was no sign of neglect, no sign of abuse, and they were very well taken care of children. Medical proof from an MD doctor, nobody was harmed. I said, just like they tried to frame Danny and Jen for a shower scene in the other room, I said, they kicked in our door on the 6th day while we were out. They're supposed to set up button cameras taping us in our house, stalking us. I said they're supposed to tape to me in the shower washing myself and putting that in the other room so it looked like I was weird with myself. She's like, gross. I said, I know. They photoshopped washing yourself in the shower in the other room. Danny and Jen didn't know. I went to them. They didn't know nothing. Like Jen said, I seen you with bruises all over you, throwing up and almost passing out, and I didn't put it together. Somebody was harming you. We didn't know anything. These people, I even told her, I said, these people even admitted in a Walmart in September of last year, as I walked by doors, they were reaching out, stabbing me real quick with a hypnotic drug. She said, those drugs are horrible. You are sleepwalking. I said, I looked it up. It does cause sleepwalking. You're wide awake, you're sleepwalking. The dangers of using it. You can cook, eat, drink, have sex, drive a car, and you no idea what you're doing. You can anything, and your conscious is shut down, and you'll never make a memory of it. And I said, you know, that's one thing where they said they were hiding behind doors. I thought, you know, I remember thinking I got stung or bit in the hallway. Think, ow, what was that? And here they injected me real quick. I said, do you realize how scary that is? People harming me? She said, it is scary. I've never met. I never had anybody in my home before. I only had family repair guys, insulation guys. 2 silly officers in August of 18, midnight 911 call, came out and told me it looked like, we only had 3 cameras on the outside. We had nothing on the inside. Front porch, back porch, side yard. And there was a light on the outside. And I called 911. They came out and said it looked like an alien orb, angry spirit, and told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They didn't want bothered. I didn't have anybody else in my home. I thought the orange well water, I was showering him real quick. was causing the personal infection, even being toxic and maybe giving me cancer. I kept asking the doctor if I had cancer. I had bruises all over, throwing up, and almost passing out. And I was fine until I moved in that home. And here Dave's having drug dealers drug me up and tell me say horrible stuff, photoshopped washing, had some guy pretend to be a dirty doctor breaking HIPAA. I said, Danny went to Dave. I heard him tell my grandson and his girlfriend at the time, April 16, 23, that he finally went to Dad, asked him what on earth is going on. He said he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. Was Pete and his men in her home before? Pete has her frame, Pete has her tape, the filthy, dirty statement. I never met him. Never talked to him. Never had him in my home. He has to be some kind of rape. He's some rapist where they called the guy doing this a serial rapist. Drug cartel. Drug dealers playing with somebody in their home. Drugging them up for fake confessions, photoshopping them, framing them in their stocking dates. Running drug scams on them. November 23rd, 25, I'm in Summit Mall. And they admitted downstairs that this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. Her ex-husband was connected to us, so we asked him if we could do it to her, and he agreed if they made sure that he got everything in the divorce. December 1st, 25, the pretty Michelle that was dating that agent on the verge, they threatened to kill her for telling on him. She went badass. Her and her friends tell on all of them. Said an investigator comes in Walmart 62. Said Michelle showed up in my office. Said these people admitted this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. Her ex-husband was involved. They all were. They were in there in the tent to steal from the government. Trick an FBI agent into open up a case and hand them the money. That's what they were there for. And that the doctor from before was not one of hers, works for them, and they had lied. He was one of her doctors. She actually don't know who he is. And that guy Pete running his mouth about her, she don't even know who he is. It's just some guy Dave hired on his own. And these people admitted to using hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. And the tape of Weird with Yourself is nothing but photoshopped of washing in the shower in the other room. And the whole thing's a scam to steal from the government. January 1926, right when the case started, within the first month, I got these weird text messages on Instagram from this guy from Henry Moffey. Said, hi, I think you're beautiful. It's like, thanks. Said, something about love on a beach and something else. I don't know. I'm some weirdo. Then people talk about him in stores, and then people that are showing up say they work for Judge Peters and they're from Florida. They're drug dealers. He's running around with them. I don't know. Carl and I were joking around in the car. I told him, I said, with being an FBI informant, I'm in immunity for life. They can kiss my ass. They can kiss the FBI's ass. They can kiss the judge that signed the protective custody order's ass. They can kiss Agent John's ass. And they can kiss my protected government immunity informant ass. They can't touch me, and they need to realize it. I put on MC Hammer, You Can't Touch This, and I'm like joking around in the car with him. Made him so mad, he came in and confessed. He's in there, he said, her dancing around the car with her husband like a little kid. The officers for the case that watch her only watch her because they feel sorry for her because she acts like a big kid. They like me, and there's a quarter of her. He said, I'm the one that sent her those messages online. I thought you look like him, but a lot thinner. He said, He said, with those text messages, I prove she was cheating. That's not cheating. That's you being a weirdo. He said, I tell all men she's not good enough for another man. I thought, fuck you. I'm glad I never met her in person. I thought you wouldn't have got a pity date. He said, I'm the one that's telling her new husband's family that I'll steal everything for them. I found out that her new husband's son was down at the farm vandalizing and stuff. I told him, stay out of it. I'll steal everything for them. What did that girl say? It was her family. That's her dad. Get it? He said, I heard the other Michelle's telling on us for what we're actually doing. Thank you for your confession. That the whole thing is a scam to extort money from the government. Yep. And it's Bill from the Freemasons big scam. Mm-hmm. He's that Will guy they talk about. He said, I got a judge's friend that'll enter all my tapes in court without her. And while the FBI is busy with Minnesota, have them turn all the cases money over to me, and I'll be long gone. I'll steal all the money for myself and pull a fast one on the FBI. I thought, over my dead body. I wrote the president. I wrote FBI Internal Affairs. You know, these people had said that they wanted that Michelle to have everything because she wanted to be a millionaire for the rest of her life and never wanted to do without anything ever again and have the best lifestyle. So they were stealing for her. Oh, I even heard Pammy was helping out, so they'd steal for her daughter and her granddaughter, so they'd be millionaires too. Okay, I had some stupid bitch. I had to erase 2 tapes because I lost it on the tapes. I was so angry yesterday. Heard this fucking bitch. And I wish people would throw her out of your office. Report her. She's lying to everyone. She's the biggest liar and the biggest fucking retard in the world. And she's scamming you. March 23rd, 23. 2 agents come in to Walmart 62. We told these people, stay out of it. She's never hurt anyone. Nobody's ever seen anything. And it's some lady trying to make money out of this. Well, May 30th, 25, the Louisville police is out there, and I think that's that lady the FBI was talking about. Said, I found out she knew surveillance laws. And I was going to try to trick her out a bunch of money. That's extortion, 20-year sentence. You were confessing that to the cops, you idiot. I'm tricking Dixie and Melissa, put their name on this. I'm going to have them arrested. Okay? It's like, leave the dumb girls alone. And they found the surveillance of May 26, 25, the cartel admitting that this whole thing is a scam from Bill from the Freemasons, including the dirty doctor not being one of hers, works for them, and they had lied. In Walmart 62, they tape an audio in every aisle. Okay? And the investigators found the original case that her ex-husband hired 2 men on his own. One was saying he was an attorney, so it made it legal. No, it didn't. It made it worse legal, because they know better. Okay, put it that way. So, this lady, she shows up to talk to you. Call the police on her. She's scamming you. They were going around over a year and a half ago of offering people millions of dollars and millions of extorted money from the government to say something bad about me, and that they get it for you. Okay, that fucking lying bitch, she can never get extorted money from the government. The attempt extortion is 20 years. Like I said, I couldn't control my swearing when it comes to her. Yesterday, I had heard that she said that, oh, they have a judge holding all her informant money for people to see what they want out of it, including that family where she told where they were involved. They can't get money. I could sue them, you stupid retard. The FBI can put them in jail for life in federal. They admitted they lied to a federal agent. They defrauded him. They admitted they were trying to have me killed because some idiot called me a faker. That they were having me drug beat and raped and hiring people to do it. And were having me human trafficked under drugs. Oh, and I have all these injuries. Who can sue who? I can sue them. I have a freedom of speech. And there's freedom of press. You will not silence me for what these people did to me. You will not silence me. I could sue them. Oh, and other people putting in what they want, so the judge is holding their money. No judge can hold my money. I'm in the witness protection program, you fucking retard. No judge can even work a case against me. So you need to stop lying and helping Bill from the Freemasons. And his fucking scam. Do you want to put your name on it? Want anything? No, I don't want anything. She's not going to get them a dime. She's lying, just trying to cause chaos. No one's going to, like he said, he's trying to steal it all for himself. Get it? Oh, we didn't know John defended her. Bullshit. That agent yelled it out in Walmart. Bullshitty. And bullshit that he didn't know that he didn't ask me to be a reliable name and watch his kids years later. Bullshit. That you didn't know he wasn't part of it. You were part of having somebody impersonate him, trying to scam the government out of money. So bullshit. Oh, I told that nurse yesterday. I said they left threats. I told them about that other doctor's office. I reported them. Because they were talking, and I said, it's just that Henry Moffitt guy. I said, he's impersonating an attorney and now probably an FBI agent. Him saying that if I try to have liposuction or any other kind of surgery, that they'll make sure the doctor has an accident. She said, that won't happen here. I said, they will not threaten my life that they'll have some doctor kill me. I said, I'll go to every doctor and tell them that my ex-husband ran a drug scam on me. And him and his crack-headed girlfriend and her father run around lying to people. And I'll make sure a doctor makes sure he doesn't make a mistake. And they will not threaten my life. I reported that doctor to different law enforcement. I've already turned him over to the medical board. I'm going to do it again. I said he better be trying to get information for the police or the FBI out of him. Or he's looking at a long time jail sentence listening to that guy. And going along with the conversation of trying to have me killed. This is not even funny. People had showed up yesterday. They're now trying to recruit doctors to kill her. None of this is funny. Others, had said last week, we all heard her scream in the car. They were just trying to steal money. We all found out how bad they beat her. Okay? But that lady is such a fucking retard. People need to throw her out, tell her off. There's no judge hold my money. No judge can hold somebody in government immunity. Money. They're in a federal witness protection program. A federal witness in a federal case. They can't be touched by a judge, a prosecutor, a police, an attorney, no one. Because it's a government case. Where you have a life of peace as an informant. Like Walter told me. He said, Karen, you don't realize you're in one of the many witness protection programs. Informants are different. You stay yourself. You feed them information. You tell everyone that agent can't say a word to you. He can't tell you can't say anything. It's illegal. It's a federal crime. I looked it up. You can't withhold your money. You can't tell other people they can't help you. That's attempted murder. Can't be in a court record. No judge could sign it. The Department of Justice put that judge in jail. There's guidelines. It's for risking your life only. In your immunity and get the money the rest of your life. He cannot misdirect it. He cannot withhold it. These are federal crimes. I talked to a criminal attorney, said the same thing. It takes a judge in a jury trial to say that you can't say anything. And he can't talk to me like that. And he can't withhold my money. And I can't get out. Oh, Walter has even told me, you can't get out of this. He said, you're in a threat and attempted life case. Can never be closed. These people try to kill you. And they could wait and try to kill you again. The most the FBI can do is put you in another witness protection program. But they have to speak to you first. Criminal attorney said that too. Please. I can't get out. I'm in immunity and I'm supposed to be getting money every month. And that Dave's people were talking Walmart on the Strip today. We all found out it's her ex-husband's girlfriend and her dad trying to steal everything. There's no attorney for children. They announced it the other day. He said, some investigator said, I heard what that attorney for children did to her. Said it's no attorney, it's just Dave's girlfriend's dad saying he is. It's one of those guys Dave hired on his own. That's where people today on Walmart on the Strip, we all found out that it's Dave's ex-girlfriend and her dad trying to steal everything. Now think of that lying fucking bitch asking people if they want to put their name on it. And some judge is supposed to hold her money and they're all going to sue her for money. I can sue them. See, we're going to put it down to this. The FBI, right on Google, for doctors being part of breaking HIPAA, talking about their patients, being in it with fraud schemes, trying to steal their patients' money. The FBI shuts down doctors' offices and hospitals for this. Loss of license, millions of dollars of fines. See, people were complaining months ago, they're going to get Altman Hospital shut down. See, if I was Altman Hospital, I'd be firing that doctor. I already told the medical board on him and that nurse. If he's not working with the FBI and police to get information out of these people, he is guilty of conspiring to commit murder. It's that bad. Fraud. Part of human trafficking. Oh, and that stupid bitch yesterday, I heard her say. She says people say stuff to her in stores. She's not mentally right. Oh, fuck you, bitch. The police got him tape saying it. My neighbor, Jim, and Brian, a client came over. I hadn't been working with him for a while. He was an old client. He said, I can't have her work for me. He said, there's people in stores yelling that they drugged her and told her they were to molest her stuff before. I'm scared of him. What if they break in and do it to me? And he was terrified of him. After he left, I went back a while later and I asked Jim and Brian if I could tape them with their permission of knowing that he had said he had heard it in stores. Them yelling stuff at me And they said yes. That he heard them yell that they drugged me and told me to say that before. Another client heard him. Neighbors heard him. Police recorded him. Police announced they got recordings of him. So, you're not right. Dixie even seen him bullying me out of my jewelry. In December of 18, Dave had threatened to kill Dixie and the baby when the case first started. For Dixie and the baby are next. We'll teach Josh a lesson. He could cut off his hand so he couldn't work anymore. And they had a list. And they'd move on to who they want next. I called that agent back and they yelled out, he's got a list, I'm working on it. And then Dave came up to me, Karen, realized I'll kill everything you ever loved in life. Realize I'll kill it. I thought, over my dead body. Will you kill my children or my grandchildren? So I went around taping my own witnesses. I knew they were still there. Any other kind of evidence I could get if I died. At least he'd get stopped and my children would live. I used to pray in the morning and kneel. And I would ask God to bless and protect me and keep me safe always. If I don't make it back tonight, protect my children. And I'd load a gun. And I'd leave. Not knowing if I'd make it home. One day in Ravenna, I forgot to put my handgun in my pocket when I went to go for a walk. I have a concealed carry. This car started coming down the road. It did a U-turn, pulled a foot in front of me. I just stood there, froze, didn't get out, didn't say anything. And I'm looking, and I froze. It's like, is he gonna gun it and run me over? And before I could react, I heard a vehicle racing towards me. I looked back and he's revving his engine as hard as he could. That guy went out and around me and took off. He chased him off before he got there. Got to do anything. That man saved my life. I was almost shot in the head driving at a slam talk and swerve. Christmas Eve of 18, I had to hide not to get killed in the middle of a shooting night outside my apartment. They broke into the apartment building next to mine. Instead of mine, you couldn't see mine because it was so dark. There's no street lights out there in the middle of the woods. Good thing the old lady was in the hospital. You could see gunfire going off inside. I'm hiding on the floor not to get killed. And days, I kept saying I have to get off the phone. There's gunfire, don't you get off that phone, he's saying crazy crap. And I loaded a gun, a 9mm gun, and clips and set them beside me. And I thought if I get in my car, take off, they're out front, there's laser lights into the living room, lights crossing out back. And it got so loud and extensive, the gunfire, I threw that phone and I covered my ears and I prayed for anybody in trouble to send help. And Dave was acting weird. He wouldn't leave. We live 15 miles from Walmart. We needed treats for the kids for Christmas. We're video chatting. I didn't feel good enough to go. And he, phone starts clicking like someone's calling in. I hear gunfire. I look out the window. The old lady was in the hospital in the duplex next door. Gunfire went off. You could see her explode, and then the light went off. And I said, I need to call the police. Don't you get off this phone. I look out front. Lights are crossing. Green laser light crossed my eyes. I ducked. Looked out back. Lights are crossing. Where to hide? I go take him off of video chatting. Just leave him on phone call so he won't know I'm loading a 9mm gun and several clips. I'm thinking if I take off my car driving, they'll shoot me. If I run out back, there's lights crossing, they'll kill me. Look out both windows. Again, the same thing happens. And I position myself between the two doors. And as the second set of gunfire went off, it was so extensive, I threw that phone and I began to pray. And as I began to pray, the light outside, Dave must have pulled in because I filled the light like room like daylight. I heard Dave's voice. You went to the wrong house. We know. She's nothing but target practice. They were going to shoot me if I ran. Yeah, that's that. She's up to something. We seen her through a monitor. He said that figures. We shot a man that was sleeping when we finished him off in a back room. We knew he liked her and wanted to meet her when this was over. We shot a man in the head that was running. We're going to say a neighbor did it by mistake. And I'm paralyzed on the floor with fear. I finally got up and I laid in bed and don't think nobody showed up. Next morning, I hit the wall. We got in a big fight. I hit the wall. I'm running through the backwoods out of the house before our house on John Thomas Road. There's a male nurse's house. He said he had a grown son. I think it was him that tried to grab me. He was white with black hair and a long black beard. I'm running for Dave. He's running out. Dave starts screaming, he's chasing after me. You have an affair. I turn around. I'd never seen him before in life. He runs back in the house. Dave passed me, raised his hands. I have to check the trail cameras to find out how he made it out in the dark. He took off running where the lights were crossing when he wasn't home. And the men that stayed on the other side of the duplex never came back. I picked up a stick and started swearing. He told Dixie on Christmas that there was gunfire up there. They went to the wrong house. Looked at me like Satan himself. She's nothing but target practice. They both are brotherly. But he looked at me. The men that were up there said as I broke through the doors, they scattered. One ran by the house to grab me. As he ran by the house to grab me, they chased him through the backwoods, lights crossing, shooting him at him until I made it to the neighbor's house where I called the police. I could hear sirens in the distance. I tried to get a lady help, and 19 said that her husband died on that gunshot night, and I was raped and tortured and warned to stay quiet. I was stabbed in the neck, bashed in the head, beaten, raped, and left for dead. 12/21/18. I was human trafficked in 19. I was beat in my stomach till I have large pouching in my intestines. They said they can only be caused by being repeatedly beat. The big orange, lemon, grapefruit sized bruises on my stomach. I have a dent in my head. I had migraines for 2.5 years. I have damaged rib cage where I was walking away from Dave. He chicken winged my arm, knocked me into wood railing, and beat me, and then threatened my life for not answering my phone. He told me in February 19. In January 19, a guy came over there, and we were out in the other duplex. They gutted it. They had a fire as big as an ambulance. And he was out there with a pitchfork. After that, Dave, within a week or two, sitting on the couch, looked at me, Karen, you don't realize you die at my choosing. I just walked off. I lived through horror in the FBI. I was drugged till I lost 70 pounds. My stomach shifted up under my ribs. I have extensive injuries from the case. I lived through horror. Most people win awards. I like a letter of thank you. I like my money and my medical card. I almost died to save my family. The FBI got surveillance on Judge Peters' group, Kingsman from Texas, Buffalo, New York, Michigan, California, and others. And lot of big arrests, and they saved a lot of people off this case. Like they said, she was part of a really big bust. But if I was Altman Hospital, that doctor, if he's not working with the police and the FBI, they need to fire him. See, these people are so dumb for them being part of this and breaking HIPAA. I could sue them. Do I want to sue them? No. I don't like stuff like that. Not saying I wouldn't, but I don't want to. He needs, if he's not working with the FBI, he needs fired and terminated immediately. And so does that nurse. And they need to find out who the hell they gave my medical records to. Because the FBI does shut hospitals down for being part of this. And they have shut down a lot in Cleveland. And other places. I'm going to go ahead and upload this.